and the heel on my shoe broke. And we're talking like flopping, hanging off. And
Okay, so first of all, when I thought about doing this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some singers from the ship, and you were the first person that came to my mind. I go, Alison is so fun. I go, she's gonna just make me laugh the entire time.
I'm like, I haven't even got good stories, but I'm sure you'll pull something out of me.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, yeah. So the show is called. It was gonna be amazing, and it was just stories that happened on stage that you were all ready for this, and you're like, oh, this is gonna happen, and then it didn't go exactly as planned.
Well, that's most of the time. No, I have to say, as a singer,
Yeah.
It takes a lot. I mean, for your show, it's you, the lighting, the magic itself. Obviously, everything comes together. But for me, it's always it kind of turns into a group effort when it comes to the production and the musicians.
Right.
And that can go wrong on a regular occasion. Let's just say.
Yeah.
People having the wrong.
Totally, because you're working.
iPad freezing. People not moving on, people, I'm not going to name names, but sometimes musicians / MDs being deaf, things like that.
Having a deaf musical director is always not a good thing.
No, that's a true story.
Okay, wait. Okay. No names, but you have to go through that.
Yeah.
So wait.
But even things like, and it's so silly, but itineraries, like for me, we all get on, you'll agree, we all get on and we're like, oh, when are we on? What night of the cruise are we on? What day? What port is it? What's the temperature? What's the times?
Yeah.
And it's always, it's all considered, and I always have an issue with whatever I'm given, because I'm always like, oh, it could have been this, it could have been this. But most of the time, I always call and I have a moan about something. That's what I say to Colin. I'm always on the phone and going, oh, this happened. But most of the time, you can't predict it. So they're the best ones when you just don't see, big crazy things that happen in a live show, let's say.
Right.
People on the front row, people dancing on the front row, people pulling you on the front row, things like that. Yeah. It's all fun and games though, and that's what makes it. I've had obviously ship life is one thing, but I toured with my ABBA stuff, and so doing like
when you toured with ABBA.
Stuff,
now when that show, the ABBA show, toured where?
All over. I actually started it 2010, showing my age.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I love the show, and it's ABBA, so it's fun and cheesy. But I've been everywhere with the show. Weird places like. I'm sure you've been to Noumea, that little gorgeous island off Australia.
Weird. No, I have not been there.
Random, beautiful little island. I remember being there. It was my birthday. And I remember them like really thinking we were ABBA. No. I could you not.
It treated you amazing?
We arrived, and I just remember all of us like joking and thinking, oh, it was such a long journey, the luggage didn't arrive. And we arrived, and it was like 2 days of traveling to more or less Australia. And then the press were all there and the people were waiting for us, and it was like in their head they really did think the real ABBA were coming to this little island. And it was it's kind of like Samoa, so I had 2 big Samoan men to just walk me through the crowds of people grabbing me thinking I was ABBA.
So, wait though, how the show?
It was me in a blonde wig.
Yeah, but did you get on stage, do the show, and everybody's like this?
No, they're all like grabbing.
Not ABBA. Did they turn on you?
They were grabbing. I remember one time in like Switzerland or something, they were throwing flowers. Like when ice skaters get flowers, and I'm like, picking them up, thinking I'm like ABBA, but I'm not ABBA. So I guess it's the fun of tributes when people are really dedicated fans and they really get involved. Right. They're some of my crazy ones. Obviously, me being me, Alison Ward, on my own on stage. It's just me. It's not that exciting. But when I'm like in there giving it Dancing Queen and they all are true ABBA fans, yeah, I've had to have like people hold me back from people grabbing me.
Really? What countries were like the craziest? Did you say in Switzerland they did that?
Yeah, I just remember it being a Swiss Alps kind of snowy one. That's why I remember that one well. This Noumea one was definitely, they were convinced we were ABBA. But all over, even I always say, I just think UK always has a good time when it's ABBA. I mean, they know we're not ABBA, but it's always such a big party because it's the music, isn't it? So much fun. But the shows, even to this day, I've sang ABBA my whole life, it feels like, and I will do a full 2-hour performance of ABBA and have every time the best night because it's such a good laugh. So yeah, it's just crazy. I have so many, you must have the same, I have so many videos of just like, I remember this guy who was, it was in Milwaukee, and there was a man dressed as one of the female ABBAs, so little dress, wig, feather boa, and he just danced the whole show, and the whole show was filmed. And then it was like, even when it comes to like Winner Takes It All or something, he was still like, but he happened to be like front, center, man, wig, and just like giving me full performance the whole show, that you almost have to like just pretend he's not there after a while, because can't keep this in. But yeah, just fans, but not of me, ABBA fans. That's what I'm saying. When they're dedicated ABBA fans, it's the best. When it comes to music and stuff, I'm still, after performing, God, a long time, I still get scared to like, I'm still nervous to try a new thing. I can't play an instrument. I can't play the guitar.
Wait, do you get nervous?
No, I must say now, with age on my side, or not, things, obviously when you're young, everything's like, you'll just give it a go, won't you? You'll just try anything. You'll just pick up something and give it a go. But now everyone's a bit more judgy, so I wouldn't just sit at home. What I'm saying is, online now, people who are dancers are singing, and people are playing musical instruments that don't normally. I haven't got the courage to just start with a new.
I know
you know what I mean? People are. I'm not as brave, I guess. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, still, you must get nervous sometimes. No, big shows.
Well, no, not nervous, but I would say that I was a little with the 35 and 35. The first couple shows, and I mean, it's so new. I've only done 5. With the first couple shows, I wasn't nervous about the show. I was nervous about just making sure that everybody could see and that they could hear me. Yeah, the tech element of it. And it's like, is it choppy? Is it, there's their lag? Is it really? And so that's what more was occupying my mind. So I'm thinking about that as I'm trying to do the routines. And so that was challenging. But now that I kind of feel like I'm comfortable with the program, then you relax into it.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we've been blessed to be doing our gig either on the same ship or, a very same ship. And I love now, again, very lucky that I've been going onto ships, and then I'll go home and I might go right back to that ship. So I've just done it with the band. I've production, know what's going on. So in answer to, do I get nervous? Sometimes I'm like, I feel like this is the easiest thing when you're going back into the same ship. But in a few months, weeks, whenever we go back,
you don't know how it's going to be.
It's going to be, I'll probably have a moment of, it's been a minute.
Yeah, right.
A minute. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you've had to at some point. I've had to do the third show, Panic. We didn't dock, no guest entertainers.
Right.
So I've had to like fully wing a third show and be like, this is happening. We're doing it. Like, and yeah, on the spot, you're like, but then it ends up being great. And you're like,
You know what though? Sometimes, and what I think is so fascinating is sometimes shows like that where you're literally just honest with the audience and you say, hey, I'm doing a third show. I wasn't planning on this, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That the audience just loves it. And they're like, and they almost love those kind of shows because they're getting something special. They know truly it's something unique. And that's something that people look for when they're going to entertainment, they're going to shows. They want something that they feel is going to be unique to them. So when something silly happens that they know that doesn't happen every show, they love it. So a whole show based around that entire concept of like, hey, this wasn't supposed to happen.
You're in for a new show, which literally makes me think of my very last show I've done on a ship. Alison, sometimes if I could just keep my mouth shut myself, it would help. And 2/3 of the way through, and the heel on my shoe broke, and we're talking like flopping, hanging off. And I went 2 songs of just being like, I move around a lot and I'm dancing and doing stuff. And I went 2 songs of just being all arms and no legs because I was like everywhere here. And then I just thought, I'm going to tell them, because I felt paranoid that I just looked like my feet have all of a sudden been stuck to the stage. So I decided to be like, hey, oh, by the way, don't miss my giraffe slipper. I was like, hey, look at my flippy, I broke my heel. And then I said, did anyone notice? Because I haven't moved. And they were all like, no. And I was like, yeah, shouldn't have told you. But then the last song, I ended up like, because it was an up tempo, I ended up dancing and being like, I'm just going to hop now. Because it was very obvious that my shoe was hanging off. And I thought.
But you left them on? You didn't take them off and do the show?
No, because I know that I was looking at the stage crew thinking he's going to kill me if I just start walking around barefoot, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Look at me, such a good girl. But I flat out thought I could have totally got away with not telling them that. But then I did, and then I hopped around, and then they loved it. And then I went for meet and greet, and they were all like checking on my shoe. And then the second show, I ended up doing the wake show as well. Ended up doing the wake show and acknowledging that my shoe was in the cobblers. You know, magically someone was fixing it on the ship. And then come the second show, I had so many people check on my shoes that I had to acknowledge, don't worry, my heels are fixed. Yeah. You know, like the smallest thing.
That's all they cared about now.
Like I've just sang my face off, but is my heel okay? Is all that they care.
That's classic.
Which reminds me, I need to get them fixed. That's so funny. Just thought.
Yeah, nothing worse than forgetting about that, and then we go back on, to work in a couple months, and then you go, oh, I didn't get that fixed. I had 4 months to fix it, and I didn't do that.
I know, that's why I'm like, shoot, we've got a lot of time to be fixing things.
Yeah. There should be no tears in costumes. You should have, right? I know. All new things.
I love that I just casually got my giraffe slippers.
The giraffes.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I call myself a giraffe as well, so just put them on. I can proudly admit that in this few weeks of this, we haven't even got like a sneaky delivery, a pizza or like takeout. I've been cooking everything, which has been nice, even like crock potting and doing stuff.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I was like, I'm gonna bake. So Colin cleverly got me a little baking thing. Let me tell you, this little bag. Okay, wait for it. Add a cup of milk. That is not baking. All I have to do is just add milk. I got really excited that I was going to become some baker. And I'm like, this is literally pathetic. Just add milk. And then
that counts. That counts.
You know what? I took pictures thinking like, oh, I baked, but really I added milk. That's where you're making macadamia and bloody factory cakes, and I'm making muffins that you add milk.
Do you know who Whitney Cummings is, the comedian?
No.
She actually, you guys resemble each other. You guys really do.
What names?
But anyways, Whitney Cummings had this joke, and she just, on her podcast, she goes, can I say this, but I'm really enjoying cooking. Like, am I allowed to say this? Am I going to get, like, because she's a woman, she's like, I'm not cooking. It's okay that I like to cook.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun. She goes, I've been cooking all the time. But then she says, the problem is that, she's cooking, and then her partner or whatever is in 4 months, when everything goes back to normal, they go, hey, how about that zucchini bread?
Yeah. Oh, then she's going to have to.
No, that was a shelter in place dish. Let's go somewhere out to eat. I'm not cooking.
That's the thing that we do get lazy, but I will be excited to be able to go to a restaurant. But Colin's the opposite. She's like a home person. She loves to cook, and when I'm not here, she doesn't really like to cook on her own. So being able to cook for both of us, she's got all experimental, and that's why I'm really impressed that we've pulled out some things that we would never do, because I'd just be like, oh, let's go to our favorite and quickly grab a bite, right?
It's so easy. Yeah, the convenience. That's what technology is. It's the convenience. You're like, let's just do this. It's easy.
I'm a little chefs. So I'm going to start a baking show. Clearly, I'm going to be the next HGTV queen. Not, like.
Wait, please.
No, I'm so bad. Literally.
Wait. Listen. What you need to do is you need to set up your camera and then have like an apron on, have all the tool, like a bowl and the whisk and the thing and all the things, and just go, we're going to bake blueberry muffins today. Okay. And then at the very end, say, you have to have this, make sure that the muffins, and then just go add milk, put it in the microwave.
Yeah, that is totally how I roll. Like literally, this is what I'm dealing with.